So I'm driving to the airport yesterday. I'm flipping through the Sirius channels as I do nonstop. Come up back-to-back channels on the classic rock and classic vinyl channels. One is playing Bob Dylan. Next one is playing Neil Young. Let me ask you something. Have you ever heard two more annoying voices in the history of music than Bob Dylan and Neil Young? There can't be anybody, and I mean there's lots of fans of both artists, but there can't be anybody out there that possibly sits there for hours on end and says, God, I really enjoy listening to those guys sing. Whew, it's a scary proposition. It's like back in college. I worked my way through college selling high-end audio equipment. Guys used to come in, and this is back in the 80s, and I used to encourage people, bring in your own music. Because when you're spending thousands of dollars on your stereo setup, especially your speakers, you want to be able to judge the various speakers in these three beautiful soundproof rooms that we had back in the day. You want to be able to judge based on the music that you enjoy, not the music that I'm going to pick, because I'm going to pick music that you may A, not like, or B, I know is going to sound great out of various speakers. I can't tell you how many times guys would come in with records, albums, because, CDs were just in their infancy, or cassette tapes, which, the audio reproduction on cassette tapes was just dreadful. You think MP3s are bad nowadays, or things that you buy from iTunes? I mean, cassette tapes were even worse. They bring in like Jimi Hendrix. They bring in Deep Purple. They bring in like Led Zeppelin. And I'm going, what can you tell anything about this music on high-end speakers? But I digress. Let's talk about gambling here. Great day for the guys here at the sites yesterday, especially those that I chose for various discounted plays. Trace Adams hit another double your wager selection yesterday. 2,000 star double your wager winner number 6 out of 7 is AL Game of the Year, a winner on Seattle, and you got that as the half price play of the day. I think he's had 4 of those plays this season, and he's won every single one of them. And $1 bettors have won $31,000 plus since last season of baseball, and over 17,000 in all sports since May. So kudos to him. Gabriel DuPont, you got him for just $19 yesterday. His $100 blowout game of the month. He promised you a 4-run mismatch, and he delivered with the Angels in a 7-2 run line rout of Philadelphia. And how about Scott Delaney, the $5 play of the day? Phillies Angels just barely getting over, but you got that 60-dime winner yesterday for just $5. Listen, all your promos, etc., will be available on the homepage. I'm doing this on the road again once more at, 3:49 this morning. I hope you're enjoying your night in bed. I am not. Let's get to your complimentary plays. Yesterday, I took a split with the complimentary plays. I cashed in with the Angels on the run line, and I failed with my play on St. Louis. Well, tonight, my first pick, I'm going to come right back with the Angels once more on the run line. This time, they're going with Weaver, who is pitching against A.J. Burnett. Listen, Burnett, he's got to be wondering to himself, did I come out of retirement to pitch for this team this year? Why? But he hasn't been really the same pitcher since suffering a hernia early in the season. So, the Phillies have lost 8 of his last 9 starts. He's 0-4 with a 6.66 earned run average in his last 5 starts. And on the road, 6.75 ERA in his last 9 road starts. And this is a Phillies team that, well, you know how bad they are this year with all that overpriced, underperforming veteran talent. Maybe talent is a word that we should put in quotes, right? As for Weaver, he has not pitched well in his last couple of starts, but the Angels have won 8 of his last 10 starts, I think it is. He has a 2.16 earned run average in his last 18 starts against National League foes, and FYI, 10-1 in those outings. And I'm getting the Angels at pretty much even money, plus 100, laying the 1.5 runs. So last night was a big game for them. They had only scored 13 runs while losing 5 of the previous 6 games. They had only been batting .223 since the All-Star break. Going into last night's game, they got all 7 runs in 1 inning. I say that they take that. You see some momentum build, and I like the Angels on the run line once more in this game. Let's talk about the Oakland-Kansas City series for a second. I find that to be a very interesting one. You had Kansas City taking 2 out of 3 at Oakland to start off the month. You have Oakland in the position after finally getting some offense last night, a season-high 20 hits. No, I think it was season high 21 hits last night in that easy win for them to earn a split of the first two games of the series. And tonight, it's going to be Jason Vargas against Scott Kazmir. Now, listen, Kazmir has pitched great all season, but in his last two starts, his earned run average is almost 6.5. The first of those two starts happened to be August 3rd at home against Kansas City when he gave up 10 hits and 4 runs in just 6 innings of work. In fact, he's got a 6.60 earned run average in his last three starts against the Royals. Now, the Royals are going with Jason Vargas. This is going to be his third start since undergoing an appendectomy. His first of those two starts came against the A's in Oakland, August 2nd, gave up 7 runs in 4 1/3 innings. Pitched a little better at home last Friday against the Giants, 2 runs allowed in 5 innings of work. This is an interesting contest because, again, the A's have not been hitting well of late until last night. The Royals, have still won 10 of their last 13 at home. They had won 8 straight and 16 out of 19 before last night's loss. And you got them pretty much at even money here. I got to come back with the Royals in this contest, guys. I know Kazmir has been a money pitcher this season, but the A's have been so inconsistent offensively. I've got to back the Royals because I've got to think that Vargas, who was pitching so well before having the appendectomy, I think it was early in July and missing about 3.5 weeks of action, now his third start back, I've got to think that he's finally getting back into the groove. So I'm going to go with Kansas City to rebound, and I'm getting Kansas City as a small dog here at plus $1.10. Your final free play, I'm going to go with Baltimore. I see an overnight price here at some offshore books at about 125 on the Orioles in this particular contest because last night's game was postponed. Well, you've got Pineda going for the Yankees, making his first start since early mid-April because he was sidelined by shoulder issues and, of course, a 10-game suspension for being caught cheating, going against Chris Tillman. Listen, the Orioles were my best bet on Monday night. They were a 10-9 play, and I used them, but Norris delivered the 11-3 win over the Yankees. They won 14 of their last 19 at Camden Yards. They've won 11-3 on Monday's opener. The Yankees have only scored 4 runs in their last 3 games, all losses. 2 at home against Indians, and then the opener on Monday night at Baltimore. And they only have 15 total hits in those 3 losses. Baltimore's now opened a pretty commanding 7-game lead over the Yankees in the AL East. They've won 7 of the 10 meetings this season by a combined score of 55-28. And Chris Tillman, he's really pitched well here of late. 1.98 earned run average in 2 starts against the Yankees this season, a 2.77 ERA at home this season. For an Orioles team that's won 15 of its last 21 overall, I got to go with Tillman and the Orioles here minus the 125, even if it's 135. I would go ahead and ride Baltimore in this particular spot. Oh, one more stat about Chris Tillman. His last 12 starts, home, road, doesn't matter where it is. It could be on Mars. His earned run average, 2.40. He may not have the wins and losses in terms of a record, but he's just pitched some outstanding ball over the past 3 months. So Baltimore is your final freebie. Baltimore, the LA Angels on the run line, and I'm going to take a shot at the Kansas City Royals as a slight home dog. That'll do it, guys. Best of luck to you all, and I will catch you again on Thursday when we do this one more time.